Hiya and welcome to my channel. How are you doing today? I hope everything is great. Welcome. So today I want to talk about the most important documents that you must have for your Canada study application. Now, the reason why I am talking about this is that lately there's been like a few people, or maybe a lot of people, who are having their Canada study visas refused, and then when they get their GCMS notes, which of course is a document you need to request that will give you the details of why you were refused, you see little mistakes about documents that they missed out, or maybe their SOP wasn't properly explained, and these are things that they can easily avoid. So today I just want to briefly touch on the most important documents that you need to submit for your visa application and how you should, format your SOP, the things that you definitely don't want to miss out when you apply for your Canada study visa. So let's take it from here. Now, when you want to apply for a Canada study visa application, you are either using the old portal or the new portal, like we like to call it. The old portal is the GCK and the new portal is, the new portal. So when you are using the old portal, you're usually given a category of documents to submit. So there's your letter of admission, and then of course financial documents, client information, and then international passport and all of that. I want to talk about what you need to include in each of those categories. So whether you're using the GCK or maybe the new portal, these documents are going to be great. So the first thing is your letter of admission. The letter of admission, of course, is your letter of admission, because if you don't have a letter of admission, then what are you applying for a study visa for, right? So you would have gotten a letter of admission from a designated learning institute. It's only a DLI that is authorized to admit international students or foreign students like yourself. So you need to have your LOA. Then you have your international passport, and then you move to your finances. Your finances is your proof of funds documents. So documents that show that you have enough funds for your 1 year of study. So 1 year of study includes your 1 year of tuition plus your 1 year of living expenses. 1 year of living expenses is 10,000 Canadian dollars if you're coming to school in Canada, apart from Quebec. And if you're adding family members, it's 4,000 for the first family members and 3,000 Canadian dollars for any additional family members. You need to have that 1 year of tuition and living expenses in cash for the visa officer to see. So when we say in cash, it means you have the money in your savings or current account, you have the money in a Canadian account or a GIC, you can have the money in a fixed deposit or a mutual funds account. As long as the money is easily accessible and it's in liquid form, then you're good to go. A house or a land or a car, it's not liquid money, because some people say I have a house and it's worth 60 million. It doesn't really matter that you have a house worth 60 million, because that is not cash. You can't give that to the school as tuition. So you need to actually have the cash, and the cash needs to have been in your account or your sponsor account for 4 to 6 months before you apply for your visa. So you have to have that money for 1 year. And the documents that you use to prove that you have that is of course your bank statement, like I mentioned, and the source of the funds. So if you are a worker, you show your employment documents and your pay slips, as well as maybe the bank account where your salary is being paid. If you're a business person, you show your business documents, your business account, any evidence that you do business, and that's where the source of the funds is. If you're using a sponsor, you also need to get all of these documents from a sponsor. I know that when people use a sponsor, that's when they usually have challenges, because especially if the sponsor is not a very close relative, they are usually skeptical about giving you all of their documents, because I've heard all sorts of horror stories from people who have mismanaged documents given to them by sponsors, which is just sad, because they are spoiling markets for other people, right? This is what shows that you have enough funds to take care of yourself. That's your tuition and your living expenses plus anybody that is traveling with you. That's for money. Money must be there, because money is usually one of the most common reasons why your visa could be refused. Now, moving on to home ties. Home ties is part of what you're going to be adding in your client information. In your client information, you're going to be adding your SOP, your home ties, your education documents, documents to show proof of family. If you're saying that you have parents, siblings, and all of that, you're going to add all of that document in the client information. So proof of home ties is your parents, siblings, all other family members, your spouse, and your children if you're not traveling with them. Home ties also include things like your job, a business that you have back home, landed properties, any association you belong to, if you belong to a church or something like that. Anything that shows that you have ties, anything that shows that you are invested in your country. It even includes investments, yeah? If you have investments, maybe in mutual funds, stocks, and things like that, you belong to a community, street sweeping community or whatever, all of that also show that you have ties to your home country, you are invested in your community, and you want to be pointing out all of this to show that you have home ties. It is even more important to show that you have home ties and family ties if you have family members in Canada. Yeah, you don't want the visa officer to think that because you have family members in Canada, you are likely to overstay your time in Canada. So show that even though you have family members in Canada, you have more family ties back home. Now, all of this will tie together in your SOP. Your SOP is your statement of purpose or your letter of explanation. Now, this is a document that is not mandatory. Right? You don't have, it's not compulsory. You don't have to have an SOP or an LOE, but I advise you to have, yeah, so that you can on your own be explaining things to the visa officer. The SOP is also good where you need to explain anomalies, like things maybe you have lump sum deposits in your account, or you want to explain your study plan, yeah. You want to tell them why you're going to study in Canada, what you plan to do after your studies. That's what the SOP is for. It has to be well written. It has to be detailed, free of grammatical errors. It has to be clear, and it has to be logical, yeah? The visa officer has to be flowing with it. Try and make life easy for the visa officers. It has to be clear what the documents are so that they are not wondering what it is. For proof of home ties, include all the birth certificate of your children and your spouse, birth certificates and ID documents of your parents and your siblings, include all the CAC documents of your company, all the C of O as proof of purchase of any landed documents that you have, the survey documents, you know, deed of assignment when it comes to documents. If you're claiming that you belong to a church or a community, get letters from them, get letters from your church, get letters from the community to show that, oh, this person is a treasurer in our estate, she's been a treasurer for this long, she's very dedicated, please give her all the assistance that she needs. Anything, like if you have investments, show those investments. If you're a business person, you can even have your customers write letters about you, yeah, to say that, wow, we've been doing business with this person, they are very concessions, they are honest, and all of that. All of those things are what you put in your client's information that prove your home ties. I've also explained what you put in your proof of funds to show that you have enough monies to come to Canada. So by the time you add all of this and your letter of explanation, I think that you will be good to go. I want to state clearly that in your letter of explanation, please tell the visa officer what your plans are. That's one thing people forget to say. Visa officer might not see any reason for why you're going for the studies. What will this study do for you after you're done? I feel that I should do another video talking about the SOP, how to break down the different sections in the SOP, what to say in the SOP. So if this is a video that you would like me to do, I think that you should leave a comment down. Just give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment and say, we want to see the SOP video. I think I'll do that. A lot of people struggle with SOP. A lot of SOPs I see, I'm like, not so good. Could have been better. People don't take their time to do the SOPs. You need to be taking your time to do the SOP. It's a very important document. Yeah, it's a make and break sometimes. Yeah, it's not supposed to be like that, but hey, it is what it is. And so I hope that, you know, you're very clear as per the documents that you need to submit to prove home ties and to prove that you have enough funds for your studies. Especially if you also have a sponsor, you need to get all these documents from your sponsor as well. You also need to prove your relationship with your sponsor. So if you're saying this is my uncle, prove that that person is your uncle. Yeah, get affidavit, get pictures. Also get documents that show that this your uncle has helped you financially in the past. Anything that will show that you're related to them. Don't keep quiet and say it's my uncle and just think that just by saying he's your uncle and then him saying she's my niece, that's fine. It's not fine. Yeah, so I hope that when you are applying for your visa, your study visa, or you know anyone who is applying for study visa, please send this video to them so they don't make these mistakes. And if you have any questions, ask your questions in the comments. Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing your questions. I am going to answer each and every question. So go ahead and send your question. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. like the video and share it. Let me know what topics you want me to talk about. There are lots of things that we're going to be talking about in this channel. So if these are the kind of videos that you want to see, things about how to study in Canada successfully, how to get jobs in Canada, the best way to live in Canada, talking about my life in Canada and how I was able to come to Canada despite so many challenges, then this is the channel that you need to be on. Just subscribe, click the subscribe button. And I thank you so much for staying up until now. I appreciate you. I thank you for your likes, your love, and all of that. I love you and know that it's not over until you say it's over, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.